Hi, hello, how are you, Amanda? I don't even know what to call myself because today I'm doing a hybrid. What? I don't know. I don't know what I am. A makeup player with her. Makeup player with her. Okay, let's do our makeup. I'm going to put on my Milk Hydro Grip. We're going to do the hybrid. I've been doing this a lot lately for my everyday. My poolside or going out on a lake, I always go full Saint because of the titanium dioxide, which gives me kind of a sunblock when I know I'm not going to be reapplying my powder or my spray every 2 hours for sunblock. But for my everyday, I have a meeting today. I'm going to be doing my hybrid. So I'm going to be using Beauty Society's Perfect 10. I love this stuff. I do. I really like it. And then I have Incognito. I like that it's skincare infused. This year my skin has just really been showing its age. We're going to pin my hair back. So let's talk about makeup texture. One of the things that I love about cream makeup is the texture of it working well with the texture of my skin, because skin is a texture. We're going to do a half a pump on the powder brush. I like this brush. And I am just going to put this on the beard here, a little on my redness here, and then I'm going to bring it up over my scars to mute it. That's key. Muting, not covering. I'm using this kind of like Aspen. I'm using this as my corrector under my eyes. I'm doing a very thin amount. Makeup will always look like makeup. It should look like good makeup. I find Perfect 10 to be really hydrating, and it works well with being hydrating on oily skin. And I have oily skin. I'm using Perfect 10 to balance this lower part of my face, like my main highlight with Saint. And then I'm using it to mute down my hyperpigmentation and my acne scarring. I also know that this stuff doesn't set, which means it isn't going to give that mature look that traditional foundation can give. The touch and feel is going to be hydrating like a cream, but it's going to be less pigmented than Saint. So this is about 20% pigmentation, but it does give a good amount of coverage without having that cakey makeup look. And that's all that I need, a half a pump, because everything else that I use is going to have additional coverage. Now I'm going to go into the Incognito. So this color is fabulous. This is transitioning up to my summer shade. This is Incognito shade 2. It is a bit light for my skin. And I'm just going to add this right here. I'm going to go right here. I'm going to add lightness here. Now I'm going to go over my scarring here for the extra coverage like I do with my brightening highlight. Just going to grab a little more, and we're going to go under the trough. I'm going to go right up here adding some lift. I don't have any eyeshadow on. I'm just doing that eyeliner method that I've been using. And then I'm going to go in and get this inner corner coverage. Inner corner coverage. It's going on top of that Perfect 10. I like putting this over my scarring, and I like having that extra brightening under my eye. And then my nose I'll get to in a minute. Staying with that powder brush, and I'm just going to give myself coverage right here and brightening here, and then it's nice. It should look like a different color than my skin. This is supposed to look like reflecting light while also giving me a little extra coverage. But right here, this is more reflecting light. It works well with my redness. Here, I'm working on covering my scarring and brightening my under eye. And then this is going to give me some lift. And then I'm going in, I stipple this. This is less pigmentation than Saint. And if you feel like you need more, if you have a lot of under eye texture, extra puffiness, very mature under eyes, I do suggest sticking with Saint. I do think that this will accentuate fine lines and wrinkles if you have a lot of texture under your eyes. You know your under eyes. If it's heavy texture, I would really recommend sticking with Demi or with Saint because the pigmentation is so high, so you'll get less. But your makeup will always look like makeup, but your texture should be your skin. Let your skin be your illuminator. It does work. Okay, now we're going to go into my Saint, and I am going to be using Cedar, and I'm going to switch to my detail brush, which needs to be cleaned. But I'm going to go into Cedar. Now, here's the thing. When you see people doing their contour, what I notice a lot of Saint artists do, and I think it's really satisfying to watch, they put a big smear. Just lightly apply it. You're going to get less texture if you have mature or maturing skin. You just need to tap it on and see there's no makeup here. This is my natural color. I'm just enhancing the tone for the shadow. And then Cedar, I use almost like a bronzer. So I bring it down to my outer brow. And I do my brows after this. We're not going to do our brows in the video. I'm just going to snip, snap, and they'll be on. Okay, but using this, I've done it before. I'm guilty of doing this, and I think it's great. But I have to blend down a lot. But I wanted to show just a really simple save your makeup kind of application. But when you're going over traditional makeup, using creams helps with that luminosity. If you're using powders, it's going to it's going to matte it out, and it's going to make it look dry, and it's going to thicken the makeup. So we're going to put this on like a bronzer blush contour combo. So I'm just tapping some on, and I'm building, and this is going to help thin my nice full face. But I just keep this above my natural shadow. I go up my temple because I do have hyperpigmentation, this guy right here, and I'm really going over it to camouflage it, cover it, but I'm also wanting to restructure and slim down my face. And that did a world of difference without having a big old dark smear. But do under blend a bit. I need the mirror. Did I just put makeup on me? I'm gonna go on the side top of my nose, on either side, and it doesn't need to be that big dark. Just add just enough. It's summer, we're all going light coverage anyways, and I think a more natural look is kind of the bee's knees lately, especially for maturing skin. Okay, going down and around, and then I'll add a little bit here and then bring it down your neck. Your neck is always lighter than your face, so whatever is left on your contour brush, just bring it down your neck. Easy peasy, okay? Now I'm gonna grab that incognito again. We're just gonna brighten the nose. I'm gonna take as much off as I can. I'm gonna hit tip, and then I'm just gonna dot down the middle like that. Using my finger, I'm just gonna swipe it down just like I do with Saint. Honestly, its placement is the same with everything. It's just the way you apply it sometimes. Okay, so I've got that. That's it. Okay, now I'm gonna go into, I wish I had Frenchie, but I'm gonna use Daylily. I'm just gonna use that powder brush. I'm gonna put a little Daylily on. I'm gonna smile, and I'm gonna just put a little blush on. But for summer, we're gonna add a touch of pink, but I like Daylily or Frenchie to be my base right here. And then I'm gonna go into Baby Watermelon, and I'm gonna smile, and I'm gonna go right here on my high point. Right there on my high point. Little bit there, boom, high point. And then I'll just touch a little on the bridge of the nose because I think it's cute. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, we're gonna set it with some blue marble. It's under 10 minutes, and I've just applied my whole face. It's about when you're taking a foundation and you're turning your whole face one color and then restructuring it. We're going to use blotting powder. I love this stuff. Blotting powder with a shape brush. When you're using traditional foundation, you put it all over your face, you're adding makeup time because you're having to go and restructure everything and you're taking the time to blending. Just keep it down because this foundation is so, I'm gonna get my cell phone zone when I talk on my phone. When you're putting your makeup on, you want a makeup that is skin-like, so your skin should be your illuminator. Your skin should look like your skin. Okay, let's add the rest of my makeup. Okay, makeup's on. I got my lips on, I got my brows on, take my hair down. Here's the thing with makeup. I'm always on the hunt for good products. I've been trying a lot of foundations and they fell flat. And I say that almost literally. I always find that there's a little bit of life pulled out of your skin with a lot of traditional makeups, and a lot of women with maturing skin, with mature skin, using their favorite foundations. Those foundations they've been using ritually for a long time, your skin isn't the same as when you started. And so if you feel like the formula's changed in your foundation, it might just be your skin is changing. And I really love the Beauty Society. I use their skincare. It's made my makeup better. Good product is good product. And that's one of the things that I was just talking with my husband about last night, where we were talking about like the dreaded MLMs. And he's like, are there other ones you want to do? I said, I really never wanted to do the MLM thing. The problem is I fell in love with Saint's makeup and my skin was changing. And so I was always trying new skincares, and then my skin just positively responded to Beauty Society. But I had also been watching a friend of mine and have been watching her skin change. And I asked her, I'm like, what else are you doing? And it was just that. So I tried it and I loved it. And it just coincidentally was an MLM. Saint went affiliate, that's fine. I still love the makeup. But I get a lot of people that are just like, the creams are just too heavy. It's just too heavy. Okay, so let's figure this out. And I'm a big figure it outer. I've done Catrice, I've done the Estee Lauder, I'm looking at them so I can name them. I've done Tarte, I've done Hourglass, I've done Merit. I've tried all these other creams because people are like, oh, MLM. So I was like, let's try some other creams. They just don't hold up to Saint. Price point $16. Pigmentation is 80%. You're not going to find that combo anywhere. You're just not. But the people who love their good traditional foundations, mine were cracking. I could not reset them. They were crepey. They oxidized and turned a shade of orange. So when I was using Beauty Society, it changed. I like the feel of it. It looks like Saint. It feels like Saint. It's less product on your skin because it has 20% pigmentation. It has a more sheer finish and it has the skincare in it, but it gives you more coverage than a CC cream or a BB cream. The tinted, I cannot even, and it's just how I am. And a lot of people are like that. I truly think that nothing is for everyone, but finding things that work with different people is what I like to do. I have not found another liquid foundation like this. If you have a suggestion, the mattifying, the stay all days, those are going to crack, those are going to settle, those are going to accentuate your pores, your fine lines. It's going to make your skin look older than it is. It's going to dry your skin out and it's going to mature your skin. It's going to be like stretching out the collar of a shirt. Your pores are going to get stretched out. I am here for the suggestions. Tell me a hydrating liquid foundation for me to try. I tried this bad boy. This is the Tarte C Hydroflex, supposed to be hydrating. It was a miss for me. And this little thing was like $35. This won't last long. I want the most bang for my buck too. I want something wallet friendly. Having to sit my husband down to talk about how I'm about to go spend money on makeup and it was an exorbitant amount drove us both insane. And I like finding good quality products that pair well with affordable quality products. And so that's it. That's my hybrid method. This is, I find, to be a very natural finish for me. It's not a super bold look, but using contours and blushes that are creams with high pigmentation give you added coverage and it looks good. My skin looks like my skin. My skin is my illuminator. And that's what I like. Okay. That's my hybrid. Let's color match you with some Perfect 10 and some Incognito. If you're wanting to just try one, I would say do the Perfect 10 because I'd still like Saint as a concealer, especially when you have a lot of darkness to cover or you have high texture under your eyes. Those are the biggest things. Your chin, your forehead, pores, under eyes. If those are high texture zones for you, I would recommend using a Saint as your concealer. That sounded weird, a Saint. I would recommend a Saint highlight as your concealer over Incognito because I do think it can border on accentuating texture. I'm not there yet, but when I am, I would probably go back to Saint. But using Perfect 10, let's get you color matched for it. I want to hear your thoughts on it anyways. I want more than just my thoughts. So that's it. Have a great day.